Joel and Audrey here. How is everyone doing? Obviously a total different setup than normal. We got our Fluzzle Tubes, and what we're talking about today is really loving what you do and then finding success with it. And you know that, let's face it, there's
some days you don't love what you do.
Some days you don't, right?
But when you sell fun.
Hey, but there's things you can do which make it really fun, and that really goes for any industry. You can look at a lot of things. And so what I'd say too is, as we go through our episode, we have our special guest today. We'll get this kind of
get it right there. There we go.
As we have our special guest today, kind of think about, hey, what are you doing, and what are ways that you can have fun at doing what you're doing? There's always ways. So without further ado, we want to welcome a good friend of ours, Salana Whitehead, on the screen. Salana, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
You bet.
Happy to have you.
Absolutely. I think, the first time that we came across what you and your husband are doing, I think it was GrowthCon.
No, it was Clubhouse.
No. It was way before GrowthCon.
Yeah, it was way before GrowthCon. It was in January on Clubhouse.
Of last year.
I recognized your product.
Of last year, though.
Did you meet her last year in Vegas?
I remember hearing about Salana.
That would make sense because Sherry Ennis had posted pictures of herself floating in your tubes. And I'm like, that looks really cool. Where can I get those? And then when I saw you in Clubhouse and I saw your logo, I'm like, that's who I need to know right there. Yeah. That's how I met her, was Clubhouse.
I think it was GrowthCon Vegas for sure. Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Well, tell you what, normally what we do, and we want everyone to get to know who you are. Would you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Salana Whitehead, and I am one of the owners of Innovative Water Products and our signature product, which is the Fluzzle Tube, which is right behind you right there. And we live in Arizona right now. We're very much the gypsies. We move around quite a bit so that we can share this product solution with as many people as possible. And let's see, my husband and I have 5 kids together, which are all grown and out of the house, which allows us to really focus on this business and travel right now, which we love. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you very much. And how long have you been doing this? How long have you been an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so this is actually my very first entrepreneurial business, I guess you would say.
Okay.
We had a restaurant before this, but I was partially there and partially working in corporate America. And so this product is actually one of our son's inventions. And when you talk about love what you do, focus on what you do, I absolutely love bringing people together. I love gatherings, I love celebrations, I love fun, and I love bringing people together. And so we had the opportunity to do that in our first business, which was the restaurant industry. Obviously people come together. It was like a Cheers situation, right? But we wanted to travel. We wanted to incorporate that travel piece as well. And so we saw this product. We saw that it was still a need. Our son wasn't interested in taking it forward anymore. And so we said, hey, well, I think we can do it, no experience, but, just kind of jumped into it, took the leap, like I say, leap with faith, really believing in the vision and what we could do. And so we're in our 3rd year now.
Awesome.
Yes.
So now 3 years in, you got it made now, right?
No.
What challenges have you faced along that way?
So many. And, with those challenges is where the growth lives, right? You need those challenges. You cannot grow on a steady plane. So, from the get-go, I think there's a quote out there that says, or I think that it may even be Grant, where he says that, we underestimate what it takes to get us where we want to go. Sometimes you just get that little wild hair and you go for it, but you really need to understand. And so we were coming off of like a very successful business, and we thought, we'll just slide into this one, no big deal. And so the big challenges for us, or for me and together, it was e-commerce. Didn't know a lot about that. Really thought that Amazon was the way to go. That was our very first learning lesson, that, just get a product, develop it. We love it. We think everybody else will love it. So just throw it on there and it'll just go like crazy. And that is not true. You really need to connect and make relationships with your customers. And you really need to, show the value and really show the solution, what's going on. And so one of the biggest challenges for us was kind of reverse engineering the whole thing and really honing into why we were doing it, who our audience was, what solution we were trying to provide, and really addressing the problem. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So now, if you were to pick out like one of the biggest challenges that you faced in the last year, I mean, let's give people something as a reference point, right? When we talk about the events of things, I'm going to call, I like somebody else said, I'm going to call this an event.
I don't know about that.
The events of things in the last, in the last year and a half, right? What's like the biggest challenge that's presented to you, and how'd you overcome it?
So I think one of the biggest challenges for us last year, obviously with everybody with the pandemic, there was a moment where we just took like a really deep breath and was like, okay, hold on. We have a product that is supposed to bring people together, right? And we're all being told about this 6 foot, thing or whatever. And we're like, okay, so did you make the wrong decision? Is our product, the timing, sometimes timing is weird. And so we had to just take a deep breath. And, thankfully I was very well plugged in with my business mentors and during the pandemic. And so I had a lot of positivity coming in, but I want to say that the biggest challenge was just the believing that you could do something even with all of the obstacles and maybe challenges that were talking negatively against you. Yeah. So a lot of haters, a lot of people that didn't really believe in what was going on. And I think just, scaling that and getting over that and being able to see the results was probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And biggest reward too, then on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. They go hand in hand.
Uh-huh.
So now dealing with those challenges, because you got to be able to fight against all the negative.
Mm-hmm.
And Audrey and I 100% understand how that goes. We can relate with you there. Like there's the negative, there's the things, especially you're building a business with your spouse.
Yes.
And that brings our own challenges.
Challenges, yeah.
100%.
Yes.
The agreement challenges has a whole new meaning now.
Yes.
So what keeps you motivated along the way?
So again, it's the why, it's the vision, it's where, when we sat down and said that we were going to jump into this, we had already painted the picture of where we wanted to be at the end of it. Right now there's a lot of trainings talking about exit and things like that, so really begin with the end in mind. And so if you have that, some people do vision boards, or some people, for me, it's my journal writing every single day. I put my goals down. I know exactly where we're going, where I want to be at. And so I focus on that. And so when the challenges come, we're like, okay, yeah, this is just that extra hurdle we got to get over to get to that prize,
right.
So yeah, that's what we do, or that's what I do.
I was going to say, this is so cool that your son designed this. Do you, even though he's not a part of the company, do you think about him as sometimes in the middle, like in the middle of when you're redesigning things, or the new 4.0 is coming out? Like, do you think of him every day? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
That is so cool that he designed that.
It is so cool. Yes, and we are very much in contact with him, and we talk with him a lot and give him the updates and everything. He's still a part of the company, just not actively, running around with us and stuff. He's working on some other projects. He's just a brilliant entrepreneur as well. But yes, so that mind that it takes to say, oh, here, I'm frustrated with something, let me just draw something out. And that's literally what happened. It was at the kitchen table. He came in and was like, oh, I've been working on this, and here's something that I think it would be a great solution. And so, yes, we are incredibly proud of him. He's on our screensavers, on our computers, and we talk with him all the time. He's amazing.
Now, if you're watching this, by the way, right now, if you're watching this, probably by the end of this broadcast, Jesse knows where this is going real quick. By the end of this broadcast, if you're watching this, and if your local boat dealer or marina dealer doesn't have this product for you, by the way, we're going to put a link on this video where you can submit that, and I'm sure Salana will make sure that that's shored up. because you need to get your hands on this product, and she'll figure out a way to make sure that happens. Jesse, if we could throw it together, just a link to a form page, we'll set it up for Salana, and that way, if their boat dealer doesn't have this, we need to get that sorted, because this is a cool product. I mean, this is a heavy duty product too.
And Salana, you can share what you told me last time we talked about how there are new products coming that will be great for being towed by a boat. These are great to float next to the boat, like when you're out and about. So share some more about that.
Yeah. So, the model that you have, there's Jack. The model that you have is the original model, the open center. We call that the 2.2. It's great for people that want to, stay cool in the water a little bit and, jump in and out. And then I believe the green one right there might be the one with the backrest.
No, it doesn't. I got
that's the other one. Oh, you got all 2.2s. Okay. Well, anyway, so there's that. And then the next model up actually has a backrest and a mesh bottom.
Yeah.
But again, they are, like you said, rivers, pools, lakes, sandbars, oceans. We've even taken them to the ocean, and they float great. Yeah.
So an attachment, right?
I could see going down the snow slope with this. Snowy slope with this too. I mean, this is a snow sport product too, I think.
Correct. Yeah. So this last winter, we didn't have the snow tube out yet, but people took them out anyway. And it was a lot of fun. People, they held up just fine on the snow, which was amazing. But they're not intended for the snow. We will have one for that. Yeah.
Special products for that, but hey, there you go. I could see it cooling some, or keeping some nice bourbon or whatever.
Yes.
And the
beverages.
The beverages.
They are meant to be social. Look how many cup holders. Each one has 2.
Yes.
Do the new models have more than 2?
No, just 2.
But this thing has 4. So it's like
it's because it's
double
supposed to go in the center.
fisting, double.
That's
fisting.
right. Yeah, it holds about 30 cans, I guess you would say. And we have people that just get coolers. They just love the fact because it has such a wide opening and it holds so much. So yeah, it's a floating fun party.
We cannot wait to use
and the nice part, if everyone can see inside, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep too. So one of the things I remember going down kayaking on the Niobrara River up here in Nebraska, and it was the most beautiful thing that ever happened because we were in kayaks and a bunch of people floating down, they lost their cooler.
And their drinks in the cooler.
We had nothing but free beer down the river as we went, and they couldn't catch up to their beer.
Kept grabbing them.
We at least returned their bourbon to them. But, I mean, this is one of those ones that's just not going to tip over like that. No. And that's the cool part because especially you can strap it in, you can link it all together, and you're set to go.
It doesn't tip, and then having those reinforcing connectors on the side also help it to stay stable and with you the whole time. I love it.
We're excited. We're going to a pool this Sunday, and I asked already, do you let us bring in our own floaties? Because I'm bringing them.
So what's in the 5 to 10 year plan? Where do you see Fluzzle Tube going?
Yeah, so I can go ahead and share this. This is like as of yesterday. We just got our first retailer in Canada.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Where we see this going is really global, and you kind of hinted into some of the different water sports markets that we want to jump into. So the towable market, the snow market, also just Fluzzle Tube in general. We are constantly getting feedback from our customers about what they want. That's how we got the backrest and the mesh bottom and the 4.0 that's coming out. So we really plan on just creating an entire family of innovative products that are solutions for floating and having fun on the water or snow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because the holding together with hands or rope, those days are done. We did that last summer. We're not doing that anymore.
So 5 to 10 years, it's going there, and along that journey, you said you've had your challenges. Though there's things we all do in business. Sometimes there's the things we love to do. There's the things we don't like to do. What are some of the things you just don't? It's like not the fun part of business.
Yeah. So, and that's where you talk about, working with your partner. And one of the things that I love about us, we're very different, but it's because we're really good in different areas, right? Like some people say opposites attract, I don't know. But I do not enjoy the boxes, the measurements, some of the math stuff, it just drives me bananas because I'm very, very people oriented and making connections and conversations and all that type of stuff. So he is excellent at that. So organizing the warehouse, knowing all the measurements, getting all the freight together, doing all that technical stuff on the back end. He's been doing a phenomenal job of that, as well as training our warehouse staff to do that as well. So that's what I'm not good at. I'm not good at moving things and all packing things and all that, but he is. So it's good to just focus on your strengths. Yes.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And by the way, the link I mentioned earlier, by the way, guys, will be begrowthdriven.com/Fluzzle Tube. So just /Fluzzle Tube. So we'll make it real simple for folks.
Yeah, I gotta send you guys that we just picked up 2 new retailers in Nebraska as well.
Awesome.
The two rental companies. Yes.
Good.
Perfect. This is not only, we're talking about something that's a really cool product. And come on, you go outside, go buy the product right now today. She's got some awesome packages, some awesome deals. So go get the product.
Yes.
But also too, it's, what we're really kind of touching on when we talk about what growth is all about, finding something you love to do. And just because you have something that you love to do doesn't mean, as we've been chatting here real quickly, it doesn't mean it doesn't have its bumps. It doesn't mean it doesn't have its challenges, and so how, when you arrive at those challenges, what's some of the information you lean upon, I guess, to help you get through that? I guess what do you go back to? Is it that big vision in the future, or is it something else?
It's a little bit of both. I think the vision is huge. You've got to stay connected to that. You have to almost like recommit yourself, because some of the challenges can be some really big blows, and you just, naturally, I think we stop and we question, oh my gosh, am I on the right path? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Blah, blah, blah. But you've also heard that usually right when you're at that point, you're really, really close to the goal.
Yeah.
And so, and it's repetition, because the challenges keep coming, they don't go away. And so as they start coming, you go, oh, okay. You start to recognize it and say, oh, that's right. This is that next challenge to get me to that next level, to grow me a little further. So I think that, on memory for previous challenges, hold on to that. And then also looking at the vision of where you're going, and an awesome support system, people that are holding you accountable, people that you can share, being around other people that are growing and having challenges too, just kind of weathers the storm together, and it allows you to be a support to others and allows them to be a support to you. And it's a beautiful thing.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because a lot of times people are like, as business owners, it's like, we don't want to show a link, like a weak link in our armor, right? We don't want to show this weak position of ourselves. But I think sometimes you got to get around the right people where you can be that vulnerable, because you need to realize, hey, if I'm going through this, somebody else went through this too. And there's a piece of information I'm lacking at this moment that's going to help me get through this, but it's out there.
Yes.
Right.
And the key is like you're saying, just being open and sharing. Like, again, there's something about, starting in business, everybody just wants to kind of hold their cards tight and, almost like a poker game, and only show certain things, and then just lay them all out at one point. But there's some strategy to that. You got to be careful of, but when you're with people that you can trust and you have a group of like-minded individuals that are going in the right direction, be picky of who your team is. But when you have that team, then there's that vulnerability to open up, and there's so much growth even in that vulnerability, just because you're allowing somebody to share their experience and vice versa.
Yes, I was going to say that segues us right into how we met you, is through the 10X community. Being with people of like mind who've gone through different challenges helps so much. I know one night I just had texted somebody in the community and said, hey, if you have a minute, I have a question for you. We talked for 2 hours. She's like, I have 10 minutes, 2 hours later. And she gave me so much insight into the challenges of business. And again, what Joel was saying, it's right before those big breakthroughs that you have the hardest time. And that's what we were facing. I think we've been through a few of those already this year. And it helps so much to have someone to bounce that off of, because maybe our neighbor down, we are in a business plaza. There's our neighbor down the plaza is not someone we can talk to about this. His experience was different. He helped me here. It's hard to find the right people to have that camaraderie and
Right.
like-mindedness with. It's not just because they own a business. There's a lot of other factors that go into it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So getting around the right people, the 10X community, like we're touching on there. So within that, what are some of the essentials do you think that would help businesses if businesses are in a begin up stage or they're going through some challenges? What do you think are essentials that you found that they should consider?
Right. So, when I got into the 10X community, there really wasn't that I found necessarily a niche of somebody who was doing exactly what I was doing. Right. There was a lot of other verticals going on, and I was like, I'm not quite sure like where I fit in here, but I really, really love the direction and where these folks are going, and they have the same passion and desires and things. So I would say, do your homework, do a research, and find somebody as close as possible that has gone where you're trying to go. Has done something with something similar. It doesn't need to be cookie cutter and exactly it, but that's what I did. I just constantly kept searching and looking within that community because I knew the community was good until I found that person or people or groups that had done what I was trying to do and where I was trying to go, and then just latch on.
Yeah.
Right. And listen, apply, take action, be ready, be welcome and ready to not get it right and mess up. And keep moving forward. You just have to have that mindset that it's you're going to be learning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fail forward, learn from it, and move on. Yeah.
I love that. Yes,
I love Cynthia on here. Cynthia's joining us. Travis,
we got a few people.
Beauty. Thank you guys.
Travis is sitting in his Fluzzle Tube right now. He says,
"Oh my gosh,
we almost did. If the weather was better and our friends had a day.
It's like 102 outside right now. I was going to go and show you out of the pool there, but man, it's too hot.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, Travis is watching from his puzzle. That's great. I just got the message. Sorry.
Perfect. Good. You can see it.
One of the things I think that you and Audrey both touched on here is really the failure and implementing things, right? Implementing the information.
Yeah.
And there was one of the Miriam, one of the other friends in the community, in the 10X community, Miriam S. Al-Ali from Dubai. Yes. She has her program that she's doing, and I had a chance to be on there, but we touched on the topic of goals, right? So you have your big goals out there, but a lot of times we also need to analyze our failures. And that's exactly, I would imagine, as you make different versions, or when you just first started out, you had a lot of failures.
We did.
One of the beautiful things is if you fail quickly and then go back and fail quickly and fail quickly and fail quickly, this is where you have this version today. So from a growth standpoint, you wouldn't be where you're at right now with the distributors that you're acquiring in Canada, the United States, and other nations across the world if it wasn't for your willingness to fail.
That's right.
And quickly. In 3 years, you've accomplished that. So that's just an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So
in the retail industry, to have success and growth that early.
You really have to be, it's another thing, just the humbleness, just really being humble and honest and saying, okay, this is kind of where we're at with your customers. That means retail customers or even direct to consumer customers. Like when you have something that, there's always a percentage of failure in manufacturing. There's a little bit of, an error that can happen, and not, being honest and saying, okay, that's an issue. And we're going, Grant talks about all the time, like, your problems are, oh gosh, I'm gonna get the quote wrong, but they're opportunities, right? So don't look at them as problems. And so most of the ones that we have, actually the majority of the things that we thought was like, oh my gosh, that's a big problem, we totally messed up on ABC, it ends up turning into an even better solution. Whether we're upgrading somebody to a new model or someone gives us a new idea that we never thought of before, it just develops and it grows. It's just how you look at it and how you apply what you've learned when you hear it.
Well, and it's touching on that is because there's, when we think about some of the most ingenious products that we see out in the marketplace, a lot of times we think about like, hey, wow, that was a very clever person that just invented that. Yeah. Or just made that right there. We don't realize that that's probably the 163rd version of that product. And so to be successful on any entrepreneurial endeavor is got to be, you got to embrace that failure. Like you said, it's an opportunity, and it's just what's going to if you're not changing, if you're not learning from that, you're getting stagnant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell us the exciting new things. We have the new release coming, and you share.
Yes. So the new release is the 4.0. It's just again, feedback from customers. They want a wider opening, a heavier weight limit type thing, and some brand new colors. So the pre-order is right now on our website for that. It's teal and raspberry. That was a TikTok about. Pardon me?
I'm going to have Jesse bring that up for us real quick.
Okay. Yeah. So that's really exciting. We, again, try new things. We tried TikTok this for the first time this last year, and it just went nuts. And so we thought that would be a good place to ask everybody, what should we do new for 2021? And they just went nuts over teal. When we added the raspberry, it was very complimentary. And then we widened things up. So that pre-order is happening right now, delivery mid-July. Also, I cannot release a date, but I can say we will be on QVC next month. It's a very specific offering for QVC, so it's a bundle that you cannot get on our website or anywhere else. At a really, really awesome value, and some bonuses are in that bundle as well. So as soon as I'm allowed to release the date and air date and all of that, I definitely will. But yes, we will be on QVC next month.
On Instagram?
On Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, we'll just we'll let it all out. Yes.
I'm going to buy some more. I still haven't unboxed the other two yet because we need to take them to the pool to air them up. They're hard to move around. But I'm going to buy 4 more. I'm going to get this special pack.
And I'm so glad.
They're actually really easy to move around. You just deflate.
They deflate real easy. Opening.
I'm so glad that you guys. It looks like, I can tell that you used an electric pump to inflate them.
Yes, we did.
Okay. So we just had to do a little infomercial post about that, because we had some folks that were blowing it up with their mouth, and we were like, no.
The opening is not even conducive to that. The opening is very sturdy,
correct,
very large.
correct.
I'm going to show it.
So yeah, if you guys can see here on here, I mean, it's got a very sturdy opening. The beautiful part here is it's got a nice 2-way valve that they stick right in here.
I love it. So all of them have a 2-way. Even this little one here. Even on.
Make life easy on yourself. Go grab yourself a cigarette lighter, air pump, or something like that, and it just seal it right up into there, and you're good to go. But the nice part is it goes up real nice. These are really sturdy material.
Can I tell you? Me and my 9-year-old did this ourselves, and she's not like a. I don't know. How do you say it nicely? Like, this is not her forte. And I'm like, you hold this, I'll do this. And we did it together. I'm like, if me and her can do this.
Yeah,
we did it in our living room, and then we decided to sit in them for a minute and take a picture. I need to post it on Instagram.
They're comfy. They're really comfy.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we will have a Fluzzle Tube cigarette lighter pump. It's also on the way at the same time that the 4.0s arrive. So that people will be able to get your pumps and your tubes together. So that's coming.
Love it.
Yes.
So now there's a question we got to ask you, because you're part of the 10X community. What does 10X mean to you?
Ooh, yes. So 10X to me is really, again, what we talked about earlier, is that big vision, thinking bigger. Don't stop shrinking or doubting or worrying and things, like go way above and beyond, so that you can, grow and get, so you can grow, so that you can actually grow. If you don't have a big enough target and a big enough direction of where you're going, you're just going to kind of flail around. So for me, when I first heard Grant speak, I was just like, the think bigger, the big targets, the goals every day, the just staying focused on that, and then watching it. I think I'm on my 5th planner since I've been with 10X, and I went back and I looked at some of the goals from the first year, and they're done. The goals are done. I'm on to the next thing now, and so I love that. I've done goal writing for years, but what Grant had, the way he's put it all together and told us to really push it way far out there so that we have something to reach for, has just been a huge game changer for me.
Yeah. Same thing. Yep. He goes through his, and
Right.
And when you initially wrote it, it seems so big then, and you're like, that was easy. I'm done with that. Let's go here.
Correct.
It helps reinforce it.
That's right. I love it.
I love it. Salana, we appreciate you guys very much.
Appreciate you too.
Your team, you guys are great.
Yeah. Go get your Fluzzle Tube.
Yeah, everybody click the link.
Get your. We'll get the logo in here correctly.
Yeah,
there.
get the logo.
Get the logo in. Get the Fluzzle Tube today.
Yes, floating puzzle.
There you go. There you go. That's the fun part. I mean, think of the fun that your kids are going to have. You got July, you got August, you got September. There's 3 good solid months if you're in the Midwest.
For the Midwest. I was going to say other places
in the Midwest.
It's year round.
You know, and hey, any other place you're going to need them because you probably don't want to get in the water in the other months of the year. It's a little cooler.
Yeah.
Right? Who knows?
Awesome, you guys. I cannot wait to see you guys floating and having fun in them.
Yes, I'll take pictures this weekend, and I cannot wait to see you on QVC. I know you guys will do amazing.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to share the story.
There you go.
It's amazing. I love what you guys are doing here. It's been great.
So if your local dealer does not have Fluzzle Tubes, right there, begrowthdriven.com/float. Is that the page, Jesse? Yeah. Okay. Float. Just punch in their information for us. You know, say, hey, I called them. They didn't have it. All right. Put their company name and put their phone number, and Salana, that'll come right to you.
That's right. Thank you so much, you guys. That is so awesome. Yeah, we just hit 25 retailers in the U.S. This month, so that's been a big help to get the tubes out there. So anybody locally that wants to have them, we would love that.
Awesome.
Yes, everybody share your local boat dealer company, marina spot. Let us know.
Right. Fantastic. And those that are watching, take a moment real quick, go over to Be Growth Driven on YouTube, share this, get this out there, because this is what's going to help Salana get more and more exposure and the wonderful fun product that's bringing people together on the water. That helps get more exposure for her. Link it to the TikTok, link it to the Instagram, Facebook, link, all over the place. Just share that video out so that way people get to see this wonderful product.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You guys are amazing.
So much, Salana.
You bet.
So are you. You and Del are doing great.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see you in person again soon.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys.
Stay cool.
And you too. Everyone that's here too, join us next week. We're going to be talking about, is it TCPA, Jesse, correct? Next week? So we're going to be talking about something that's actually very important for businesses. It's TCPA, Telephone Consumer Privacy Act.
You may,
if I recall that correct.
Yeah.
So from a business standpoint, this is something that affects a lot of businesses.
It's something you don't know, you might not know about, but need to know about, and it's very interesting. And he makes it so interesting. It's not.
You may say, well, I'm not making any phone calls. Well, you are making phone calls as a business. You are doing text messages as a business. You're doing communication as a business, and just knowing what's going on. The more you know, the more you can grow.
Yes.
So when you know the information that's going to hurt your business as well. That's going to help you protect your business for the long run.
Prevent any failure. Exactly. So join us. Watch it. You'll love it.
Join us next week. Until then, be great because nothing else.